What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a long 3 weeks. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a long 3 weeks. But before we get into what we've been doing and everything with us, I'll go by Jay, aka the Lonely One, aka Podman Page, Podwell Jacob Friedman, because I pod better than you know it. Pod Break Kid. We are breaking hearts every day, baby. You know what I'm talking about. Mr. Respected Jumpers in the building, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another great episode. But you know what time it is, man. You know, no look, Pat. You know what this is? It's Dwayne Wade to LeBron James. Just throwing the alley. So go ahead, my co-host, the originator, the architect of this illustrious thing, Mr. Heroic. Please take it away from here.
Ooh, he is a wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. His name is 4 letters, 1 word. Boom shakalaka from downtown. His name is Hero, and I am he, and I am glad to be back, baby. Let me be a little transparent just for a second.
All right.
To the audience, Jay and DT, they forced this holiday on me. They were like, You got too much personality. We getting burnt out.
Yes.
And they was like, we gotta take a break. And I'm like, a break? What? So they made a nigga relax. And during the last 3 weeks, I finished 2 books. One I was already reading. Finished 2 books. Started another one. Got my 2015 Seth Rollins hair back. You know what I'm saying? Went to a Renaissance fair. Went to the Black Rodeo. So I've been trying to keep myself busy. So in full transparency, I got nothing. I got no bits. I got no voices. I don't even have the will to live. All I have is this weapons grade beef jerky, and I'm gonna take a bite while Jay tells us what he's been going through.
I fell for the trap. This nigga who's been sitting here plotting. I'm
gonna take a small piece. Just for tonight's show.
This is a setup. This is a setup, people. Because pre like production, he's talking about, I got this nice little hydro flask over here. I'm drinking more water. I'm thinking this nigga's he's trying to be healthy. Nah, boy, this nigga is a setup. Okay. Well, what I've been up to, working a lot. That's been going great. But also trying to game as much as possible, and that's not working either. So it's been audiobooks. I've been doing a little bit of that. I did see that you was reading Fourth Wing.
Dog, amazing. So amazing.
Did you finish it?
No, I'm still on the first book. I'm on chapter 23. So the homegirl who I met in Punta Cana when I took my island trip, she was reading it. I was like, oh, what's it about? I was like, okay, cool. I started reading it, bro. Once I got in like chapter 2, I was like, oh, this shit is fire.
Finish it. When you finish it, let me know, because that was the book that like kicked off my reading,
bro.
And I don't want to say anything else until you finish it.
Okay.
When you finish it, we'll have this conversation.
All right, bet. Oh my god, I'm so happy because I didn't know anyone else who because she's in Wisconsin, so I just been sending her Instagrams, bugging the shit out of her and her boyfriend. And did you see that they're gonna get a TV show?
I did see that.
It came out like this Tuesday. They're gonna get an Amazon TV show, and I'm like, all right, cool. So we're gonna start watching as a family. But we're gonna Zoom, or we can hit up on this, and we're gonna watch the show as a family. Oh, bro,
finish it, and then I can tell you how I feel. I can't tell you how the story goes after I finish that book. So
I'm gonna finish it. Back to that. I'll finish it probably next week or the week after, because I told her I'm trying to get the book 3 by September.
That's possible. That's definitely possible. But yeah.
My mouth is burning.
This nigga is over here tripping. Nigga, spicy meat on the comeback episode is kind of crazy. I'm just want you to know that's wild, bro.
I have no problem with putting some spicy meat in my mouth.
That is insane.
Bro, this beef jerky is fucking hot. Revenge of the Reaper. Oh, sweet Christmas.
No. No. What side note? Did you watch Ironheart?
I have not started Ironheart.
You should.
No,
Ironheart's good.
I
Really?
will. I will. I still got to finish
Really?
Daredevil. I finally finished season 1 of Windbreaker, which is amazing.
That's the
Finally
anime,
finished.
right?
Yes, anime.
Yeah.
Just love it. Pure, just straight
Boxing.
hands. Just straight hands. No powers. No hidden
Your
demons.
Gang, my gang. Let's
Bruh,
box.
just straight heat. And then I finished the season 2 of my Superman my adventures with Superman because I was stalling on that too. Because like I was telling people like, oh, it's like most of the TV I watch is wrestling.
Yeah.
Any other free time I have, I want to play video games. So I've been playing Rivals and I've been playing Doom Dark Ages, which I'm halfway through Doom. And then I gotta get back into Monster Hunter. I'm trying not to cough because once I cough, it's over.
Yeah. Definitely check out Ironheart. That shit was fucking fire. Quick little 6 episodes, but no misses. 6 for 6, no misses. Besides that, like I said, it's been just like you, anime, TV, reading when I can. Gaming, my back catalog is crazy right now. If I can't fit in and this is how I game. I think this is just a me thing, is that if I can't put in 2 hours into a story game, I won't play it. But I'll do smaller, maybe I'll run a fucking Marvel Rivals match that's 5 to 8 minutes or whatever, that's cool. But if I can't put time to the side, I won't play it. So DT's still mad at me for Last of Us, but I need time. I haven't had a lot of time to do that. So
you talk about part 2, right? Because you beat 1.
Yeah, part 2.
You talk about You got time.
But yeah, I got shit on my catalog, so I will get to that when I get to that. Anywho, it's a wrestling week, people. It's a lot of wrestling going on. A lot of stuff that we didn't get to talk about that happened. Yeah. So before we get into all that, first up, we want to send off speedy recoveries to Chad Gable. We know that it was announced that he's going to be out with shoulder surgery for at least until the end of the year. And he was just picking up his stride in this whole Americano gimmick and whatnot, doing his thing.
Well, no, it was proven that he's not Grande Americano. You saw the show. You watched it.
I was trying to save that because I don't want to dive into it. I don't want to spaz on the episode coming back. I don't want to do that. I don't want to come back to the episode and we got to talk about.
You already requested an ISO ball.
Yeah, but my ISO ball had nothing to do with Ludwig. I want to spare the man because I do fuck with the dude. But
what has Ludwig done? He hasn't done anything. He's been in the background, waiting for his opportunity.
Yeah, so shout out to Gable, speedy recovery, man. Hopefully he comes back good to go. I mean, to be honest, he probably comes back Rumble if that's what we're looking at here.
Oh man, fuck, that's a long
that's a long time. Yeah. AJ Styles signs a 1-year extension, so the whole not rumors, but people have been wanting him in AEW whatnot. I think AJ has some shit that he has to finish in WWE.
I think the last 2 random injuries that he had kind of slowed because he stated, I think it was 2 years ago, he stated this is the time I'm trying to retire, yada yada. Then he had 2 random ass freak accidents, that match with Carmelo, and then whatever else. I think there was another match, but man, my tongue is burning. But beef jerky doesn't taste that bad though. It's been sitting here for months.
Cool. It wasn't just heat. It was just it was actually still, a food that you can eat.
I mean, it feels like I was eating a shoe, but because it's just been it's been sitting on this laptop since before my island trip. But
this thing eating aged spicy meat? Come on,
bro. You
gotta... When you left, that was fresh. When you came back,
29. 07. Okay, wait. Yeah, we. Hey, no, I got time because this don't expire until the 29th. Fuck is I talking about, bro? My nose is sweating. Yeah. So it sounds. So it seems like AJ wanted to extend his timeline. Yes, there were a bunch of people hoping he switch over. There was, I think it was last month or maybe late May. There was a Will Ospreay tweet where he was kind of trying to recruit him low key, similar to what he did with Ricochet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, AJ was He wants to finish. It seems
do.
like he wants to finish out his career. He's getting, like. Yeah, yeah. It seems like he's very content on trying to finish stuff and hang out with his kids, and he's a gamer too. Yeah, and it seems like that time. I mean, he still has a lot in the tank. Clearly, if you from the last couple matches we've seen him. But yeah, so yeah, that was it. I would say and yeah a lot for a while.
That's fine.
My mouth
This is a perfect moment for the ISO ball.
Okay.
All right, people. A lot of ISO here. My thoughts and my thoughts only. All right. I don't want none of my coworkers getting any smoke for anything that I say here.
Oh wait, real quick. If I don't know if you guys noticed yet, 11 minutes into the show, but the Oracle DT, the third mic, he is not here. just so you guys know.
Without pay. No PTO for him.
Told me when we were coming back to the show, but he doesn't show up. That shit is wild.
That was also kind of crazy. I mentioned that. He did say, yeah, we're coming back on this day. Lo and behold, Oracle. Missed an episode and your name got took. What are we doing? No. What are we doing? I'm going to start this ISO ball just with a very simple, is Evolution being set up? Are the women being properly set up? Right? Yes. Now, I got my reasons. I got my thoughts. I've been sitting here for a bit because in my head, I'm like, okay, if we're building Evolution, this probably should have happened sometime around after Mania. That gives you at least 2 months to kind of 3 months to get some shit kicked off, right? When I'm looking at the Evolution card, the long-term story matches that we have is Naomi and Jade, right? That's the one. And then if you want to throw in Iyo and Rhea, you can. I'll allow that because they've been beefing for a minute. But everything else outside of that feels like it's been just spur of the moment, right? There's not really a huge connection with the matches that we have here, right? And so there was no build properly for the rest of them, if you will. So I don't know about the NXT match, so I don't know about Jordan Grace and JC Jane, so they're excluded from this. But that was
the very first match announced. So
okay,
I would say there's build to that. Obviously, we don't talk about NXT, but there was some build to that. Wait, I don't want to interrupt. Can I answer some of the questions, or
if you would like? I got a rap sheet, not a rap sheet, but I got topics.
All right. Well, as far as Evolution goes, I have seen a lot of that on the internet, and it's not entirely wrong. I feel like some of the feelings are valid for sure, but there's a huge part of me that feels like there's a whole lot of hyperbole and a whole lot of doom and gloom about it, because it seems like Rhea and Iyo, there is a story there. Rhea's never beat Iyo. They literally had a WrestleMania match. A thing that people also aren't talking about is Liv's injury, and I feel like Liv's injury really put a hiccup into things that were going on, because it seemed like she was the next. From the rumors that I saw, it seems like obviously she was going to have a match with Nikki Bella, and from what I was seeing, I don't know how true this is, so that's why I'm not going to cite my source or anything, but from the rumors that I saw was that originally it was going to set up a tag match with Liv and Raquel versus Nikki and Rhea. And then I don't know who Iyo was supposed to face, maybe Asuka. But with this injury, and maybe honestly, and maybe even because they were setting up Liv and Iyo also, so honestly, Liv might have worked double duty. Who knows? But that seems like the trajectory that they were going. And then Liv had her freak accident because that was not on Kyrie. Because I've seen some people suggest that, and I'm like, if you watch the tape, it's very similar to, it's literally the same injury that happened to Rhea when Rhea ran into the wall, got thrown into the wall by Liv.
Yeah, the shoulder.
AKA ran into the wall. Just a freak ass accident. It happens in wrestling. So there's that. The Tiffany and Trish Stratus thing, which we'll get more into later, but since we're talking about Evolution, I'm just going to bring it up. There is, it does feel random, but there's also story because they did tag together.
They did tag,
a couple months ago. And then
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad, because this brings up my next point.
Okay.
I don't like the champions pointing or picking out who they should be fighting. I don't like that idea. I get it. and it's cool because I have to deal with it. But I don't like the fact of like the biggest women's pay-per-view, and we sitting here like, who do you want to fight? Okay, Iyo, you want Rhea? That makes sense. You want to smoke with her because you're trying to prove that I can take you down, right? Boom, bet. On this side, it's okay, Tiffany, we're gonna take Trish Stratus. And it's like, yeah, cool, the legends have their moment, but I also feel like there's other people we could have put in that place. I mean, if you, especially for Evolution, what I'm thinking about is just like premier women's wrestling, right? Like women's graps. Not saying Trish can't get down because she can, but I feel like there's somebody we could put in that. We could have like, it could have been a one-off. I'm not saying this could have been a crazy story. Actually, I would have preferred this pay-per-view to be the one-offs, where it's like we got Tiffy versus fucking Vac here or Jordan Grace or something like that. That doesn't even have to have any rhyme or reason, right? If that's where we're gonna go with, and there's no build and there's no booking for like matches. Give me the best of the best one-on-ones or tag teams, and I can live with that, right?
Well, I feel like people would have complained with that also, because then it's like there's just no booking, and then there's also certain people who can't lose or who shouldn't lose yet. Like you mentioned back here, like she'll probably be in the battle royal, unfortunately, but it's not time for her to lose right now. So you don't want to put her in a championship match, right? And then like, but I do see what you're saying. And I mean, I see that point because you're not the only person saying it. I would say it is a little lazy to be like, all right, you guys just choose whoever the fuck you want to fight. I do think there is some laziness to it, but also and maybe I'm bugging, but I feel like there is a little freshness to it because we also just never see that ever happen, whether it's men or women's division. We never you never really see a champion be like, I want to fight you. Let's do this for like at the. And I'm not trying to cap for it or shill for it. I'm just saying there is a slight freshness to it. It's a slight freshness, but at the same time, I would, if I had to like give a percentage, I would say it's like 30% freshness, 70%. It's a little lazy.
Like, it is a fresh take because we haven't seen this in WWE, which is like, damn, they're maybe they're doing something new, or maybe they just not scrambling, but like it just feels rushed. Like it just feels like we're just throwing shit together, especially when you look at like the previous Evolution, where it was like, we had, I think, Tony versus Iyo. We had the Ronda and Nikki match. I believe we had Sasha Bailey in like a tag team or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
no,
there
yeah,
was a
that's when we
lot
got
of talented fucking women on that card.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, and all the majority of the talented women that they currently have is going to be on this card. Is just like they're not in the like. We're going to get Becky, Bailey, and Lyra.
That match should definitely be added to this.
That's going to be a banger. No, it's going to be. That's going to be a banger. I wished we had something for Julia. We still have a week to where maybe Julia can get a match. I feel like she should have a match. But yeah, like the previous Evolution, it had Ronda. Like that's when we had Ronda and Charlotte, and I think it was a street fight or something like that. And Becky was injured because it was supposed to be Becky and Ronda. This year, like Bianca's injured and Liv is injured, so like that's two big names immediately that you're not getting. And then we got Rhea and Iyo; they're in the same match. We're getting Jade and Naomi. That's a WrestleMania rematch. So all the big names are there. Like Charlotte and Alexa, they're going to be in a tag team. Like because there's going to be a fatal 4-way for the tag team match, or triple threat, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And then we might even get some TNA appearances. There's been rumors with the Inspiration, aka or FKA, the Iconics might show up,
which would be dope. That shit would be fly. But
so I'm saying all this like you're valid, and I think a lot of the internet, or I wouldn't say a lot of it, I'd say a portion of the internet is valid, but I feel like there's a lot of doom and gloom too with it, where I feel like a lot of people kind of want this to fail just because it's not up to their liking.
They do. And that's the sick part, which brings me to my next point.
Okay,
trust me, I got
the rap sheet. You got to list.
Is women's Evolution is in Atlanta, right? They talk about the Beyonce concert. If it's in Atlanta, it's not wrestling specific, and it shouldn't matter to wrestling, but it's still in the same city. That's a lot going on there.
I mean, it's literally across the street.
MLB All-Star, I believe, is like in the same city. I think like 30 minutes away. All in is that weekend. NXT has their pay-per-view. Saturday Night Main Events also happened that same weekend in Atlanta as well. Who's taking the hit here, right? What show is taking the hit? You like the women's one. They're getting that boot for no like reason at all. And I could say this because when we look at, and I hate this shit when it comes to like tickets and shit like that. But when the capacity for Evolution is 6,000 people for a WWE show, it's unacceptable to me, bro. Not coming from the record gate company, coming from like we have the most people here. Push this fucking shit to where at least women can have a grand fucking stage, and that way we're not looking at these weirdos talking about this is why women can't draw. Because that's what I've been seeing is that women can't draw. This is what they shouldn't have a pay per view because that's what that perception is going to like seep into the fan base and the people up top talking about. Well, yeah, this was a huge failure, financial failure because they couldn't draw. That's not the case at all. These women are way too fucking talented. They just didn't get the right push. What the motor wasn't behind this pay per view, bro.
Yeah, I agree that the build could be better. I'll say like because a lot of things that I'm seeing is like, oh, they're purposely setting it up to fail, and that's where I'm like, I don't think they're setting it up to fail. Like, there's been multiple Saturday.
This is purposely set up.
Yeah, no, because like they're spending way too much money. They're having people work a random extra day. Like, no, like they're not setting these women up to fail. I feel like it. Yes, it could have been built better, but we've had the same the three of us and multiple other people. We've had the same conversation. We had the same conversation about Mania like 2 weeks before Mania happened. We had the same conversation about multiple Saturday night main events. That's not an excuse per se, but it's like this is not the first time this year that we've talked about a show. I'm like, this seems like a rush build, and not even just with this company, like multiple other companies. There's a couple random AEW shows where it's like this seems kind of just like randomly put together, like and it. So I do understand why, like, especially because this is the second time.
It's the women.
It's the second. Yeah, it's the women. It's the second time this ever happened.
More.
It should have had a lot more focus to it. I 100% agree with that. I don't agree that as far as like them. And I'm not saying you didn't say this, but as far as like them being quote unquote set up to fail, I don't think that's the case. And I feel like with the Liv injury and the Bianca injury, that also just did not. I feel like that put them at a huge setback.
You know what else put them at a huge setback? Cutting all them damn women in the beginning of the year so that you could have somebody ready to go. We shouldn't be in this position where it's like, granted, no, not to Liv and Bianca. Those motherfuckers are stars. But we shouldn't be in this position to where like we don't have somebody lined up next. Right? We've been focusing so much on this orbit of Bianca and Liv that we think that like they're going to be invincible and we don't have a fucking backup plan. You let go of some of these backup plans. You let go of the tag teams that should be in that fatal 4-way tag team match, right? So that way that could have freed up maybe an Alexa and a Charlotte, right? Into where maybe it could have been Charlotte, Tiffany 2. And I'd be like, okay, I get that. The first one wasn't all that, whatever. Maybe they want to run it back again. That opens up shit. So when you are cutting these talent that you now need, it's like you get this, and the women don't deserve that, bro. Like, I'm a huge advocate for women's wrestling. I love women's wrestling, so to see this shit happen, I'm tight, bro. I'm super tight.
I feel it, and honestly, I feel like part of some of those releases was to make room for the Julias, the Bakirs, the Blake Monroes, the Jordan Graces,
and if they can't
and whatnot.
lose, then what are we doing, right?
Well, I mean, you don't want to put them immediately. You don't want to treat them like I don't want to use another promotion. You don't want to just put someone in a championship match just to lose, even though like when they have a crazy aura. Like it took Penta a couple months to get a title match, because he has so much aura. Like you don't want there's certain people who don't want to lose right away, but you're not wrong. It was like, yeah, like if you didn't cut somebody's women, maybe like you could add some more shit. But like a lot of women are going to be on this card. I feel like the show is going to be good. Like I feel like once we watch the show, and it's like it's going to. You said it was like 6,000. I think they're going to do 4. They're going to do 4,000 probably, maybe 5.
To be fair, optimistically, I think they probably will still hit. I hope somewhere around like 10 because you're WWE. You better pull out another 4,000 people. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. Get the motherfuckers in seats, bro.
Right, but even then, like I don't want to say it's the elephant in the room, but. Like, if you look at how the world is currently, there's a lot of people, whether they're wrestling fans or not, there's a lot of people who obviously still hate women or who just are not fun with women. And that's not me saying women are not a draw. I think women are a draw. we just haven't had that many examples of it in, at least in the American context. Like there has not been a lot of all women shows in America to
Nah,
prove how
nah.
much
It's
like
definitely a huge thing in Japan. They have them all the
no,
time
yeah,
in
oh
Japan.
yeah, no,
For
it's
sure.
because they got a bunch of stuff. I mean, we have Glow, but it's not like they don't. I feel like they don't have the same kind of big machine behind them, and the fact that WWE is the big machine, yeah, it should be doing better. They could have it reminds me of like how some, like for example, when you talk about, you said Ironheart was good, and there's a lot of people who are like Ironheart is fire. If you guys would just promote it a little better, like it would be doing all the like. And there's a couple video games where like fuck what video. There's a video game I played this year, and I'm like, this game was fucking fire. Just put a couple more commercials
But
out, so I see
now,
it.
and that's why, like, when I ask the question of being set up, it's not being set up like, oh, they want them to fail. It's just that I think they're being set up just regardless of like if they wanted them to fail or not. It's just like there's just so many things that are just stacked against them for no reason. And last bullet note, when we get motherfucking Hinchcliffe coming back and we could promote this motherfucker like a whole month in advance before this shit happens, right? Like we could do this for the women, bro. We could do this for that talent. Like what like we knew about Hinchcliffe fucking performing at Mania probably like 3 weeks prior to that, 4 weeks prior to that. It's just the effort aspect, bro. Niggas, like, the brand WWE is on my nerves just for a lack of effort. Not the talent, not the matches, it's the matches. Not the talent themselves, just the effort aspect, bro. Because like this should be we should be doing Iyo Sky versus Stephanie Van Karen in the Iron Man. And if they go to a draw, I'm cool. That way nobody fucking loses. You know what I'm saying? Like we can get premier graps and you can show the world how good of wrestlers that you actually fucking have. My rant's over. I'm sorry, y'all, if that was just uninformative, if that was a lot. But that's just personally how I feel. I feel Evolution should be a huge fucking push.
It should. And I mean, I don't know the numbers, and we're not a numbers podcast, so I don't know how much better or worse this is compared to the first Evolution as far as like seating wise and number wise. But I feel like the show is going to be successful. Like we're gonna watch it, and we're gonna be like, "Oh, this shit was fire." We're still gonna have the bad taste where it's like this could have got a little more promotion, or like this could have got a couple more posters, a couple more fucking vignettes on the TV shows and stuff. But I feel like when it's all said and done, just like a couple other shows that we've talked about this year in multiple promotions, I feel like the show is going to be good, especially if we watch it. If people watch it, get the chance.
When it comes to shows that like people perceive as people not watching, we all know, like, I've heard that from people who talk about AEW, from NXT, from Ring of Honor, people saying that they don't watch the shit. The wrestling fans are going to watch it. Whoever, like, if you're interested in it, you're going to pick it up, you're going to fucking watch it. The issue isn't with, like, if the match is going to be fired, because we know they're going to fucking show out, right? We know that that's what they're going to do. It was just more so, like, once again, the effort behind it, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about them having 6,000 capacity for the sake of me saying, oh my God, look at that lower like audience. I say that from the sense of like, they're WWE. Y'all been pushing this shit on us for 8 months now. Give the women some love.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a damn. Nigga, we could watch Rhea fucking wrestle Iyo Sky in the fucking Jefferson High School gym, and that bitch will be fucking fire. I don't give a damn about audience. But when it comes to the WWE, I do, because that's what you make me care about.
Yeah, no, and that's valid. I still think that there's also the factor of like there's a lot of people that just don't like women like that. or they don't like women's wrestling.
That's fucked up, bro.
Or it's like if it's not a bra and panties match, I don't want to see it. Like people still call women matches the bathroom break match. Like
but that's catered to by the audience that WWE's built. They built the bra and panties match. They built the bathroom breaks, and that's a historical. That's a Vince thing, right?
Yeah, right. That's not
ingrained in the DNA.
But in 2025, it's not just WWE. Like there's people in AEW that feel that way too. Like there's the match. There's a match that Jade had where someone was like, bathroom break, and she has the photo of her. Yeah,
But I'm saying WWE catered to that. The AEW fans were former WWE fans, or still current WWE fans, but they've been watching forever. So when you build this dichotomy of like these fans who don't give a fuck about women's wrestling, they're going to translate regardless. It's just boomer thoughts. It's like me watching a Hulk Hogan match with my granddad. He's like, Hulk Hogan's the best, but I'm sitting here in 2025 like, fuck that nigga. It's just like you can't change, the old wrestling brainwaves. Not as much as you want. And also the world just hates women. So
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Anywho, yeah, I'm done with that. So shout out to the women. Hopefully shit will turn out right. Y'all gonna be straight. Yeah, let's just do a little bit better next time. And
yeah, no,
let's not send our talent to an active war zone. That's just me personally.
Yeah, that could have been handled better too. I'm glad everyone made it back safe and shit.
Let's talk about Raw. Let's jump into Raw real quick. First, we get going into Evolution is kind of funny, but Iyo chooses Rhea as her opponent, right? She's like, I think not half of the promo, but a portion of the promo she did in Japanese too. But what we're getting here is Iyo versus Rhea, 1v1. Should be a fucking smoker here. Should be a banger. I also think it's a cop-out that, like, it's not Rhea challenging Iyo, but it's the opposite way around because, the Rhea, like, gets what she wants thing, and people are going to start saying Rhea Hogan, which I don't like anybody attaching that name to anybody.
And also, to be fair, like, a couple weeks ago, because they teamed a couple times, like, there was, like, she said, it was like 2 Raws ago, 3 Raws ago, I don't know, but she looked at, like, they had a tag match, she looks at Iyo and was like, I'm coming for this, yeah. We're going to do this again. And this was pre-Liv injury. But yeah, no, this match is gonna be fun. Like, we're talking about some of the best talent, not fuck that fact that they're women. We're talking about 2 of some of the best talent in the wrestling business right now. Any promotion, like Rhea and Iyo are fucking amazing. They're cool. They're both cool as hell. The match is gonna be fire.
Rhea's coming off of a smoker too. That Raquel match was fire.
Yeah, the Raquel match was like they have good chemistry.
So like, I think I'm a little afraid. Like, do we think that Iyo drops it? I don't want Iyo to drop it at all.
I don't think.
But I also want Iyo to have a solid like run. I think we should. I want to see Iyo. I just want Iyo and fucking Vac here. That first time we did it wasn't enough for me. I need to see it one more time. And I don't want Rhea to get it because that means I'm not going to get that shit for the title.
But you could get it non-title for like a number 1 contender match or something. Especially like, if they're both going to stay faces or something. Because I don't know if I want to see number 2. I don't know if I want to see Rhea and Vac here too if they're both going to be faces again. Or maybe I'm bugging.
It's the graps.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the graps too. But man, I want some drama too, like, and not just like regular dramas. Like, I think I can be better than you, my friend. Like, no, I want some heat. Like heel heat, but no, like it's gonna happen.
Nah, I don't like that because that is gonna happen. Is like it's gonna happen when we have no idea.
No clue. But if we can do a quick prediction. As far as I go, yeah, I don't think Rhea is going to retain. I think she still has some more character development to do as far as not having the title. Again, if the rumors are true, this wasn't even supposed to be the match. So I know, yeah, who knows? But yeah, I think you want to keep Iyo to have it so that maybe we can get Iyo Asuka for SummerSlam, because to me that's a money ass match as well. So, I mean, I wanted Asuka to win.
You can't because wait.
No, Jade's going after Tiffany.
Jade's going after Tiffany. Yeah.
Assuming Tiffany still has it after Evolution.
And that's another thing. Do we think that Trish walks away?
Do we think Naomi walks away? That's real.
No. This is because follow the brain math. Because like Trish wins is Trish and Jade. I 1000% think that Naomi's cashing in on Jade if she beats Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. And I think that's the perfect way to like just not just wrap up their story, but extend it a little bit more. Like, you stole my moment.
Yeah, no,
You
I
stole
can
my
see
tag
that.
team partner, and you steal my moment.
But I could
And
also
Trent,
see
you stole my.
similar to Seth's cash in for at Mania. Like he lost the first match because I want to say him and Randy opened the show, and then he cashes in, and then on the main event and essentially wins. Now Tiffany and Trish aren't going to be the main event, but I could see a world where Jade beats Naomi again. He's like, "Look, I'm done with you. I'm done. I'm done. I beat you twice."
Yeah, it's over.
And then, whether Trish or Tiffany wins, Naomi cashes in and she gets the title, and then you get Naomi Jade 3 for SummerSlam, and
which
then
would be fucking smoke.
and then Naomi wins the third match or whatever. So I could see a
smoke.
world where that happens. I could see either path, however the timeline branches. I could see either way.
Yeah, so. Either way, Naomi needs to end up with this belt.
Oh no,
that's my. Like, whatever happens, whether it's your way or my way, it still has Naomi having this belt at some point. So,
if the first failed woman cash in is Naomi, who is the first black,
you better shut it down, nigga.
I will delete my Twitter because I don't want to see.
I saw that nigga said Happy 4th of July.
Oh my
look,
gosh.
Nigga,
I saw that shit.
You better tone it down, H. Don't let that girl walk out and cash in and fail.
Both her and Seth need to be successful, personally, because we had to fill cash in last year, and
did we?
Yeah,
got
Drew.
His? Was that?
No,
oh, Drew. Yeah, my bad. Priest was before that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The first failed cash in should be Chelsea Green, who said she would be willing to do it, just for the yucks. So can't be a black woman. Not in this climate. He's already getting called triple nose, triple K every day. They're like, nah, man. I'm telling you.
Oh man, I don't want to see that happen, but I want to see it happen just so these niggas can fucking flash. And rightfully so, because I would flash too, nigga. Like, don't do this caution tape shit and have her lose, nigga. I would be tight.
Which believe in the wave, as DT would say, because we definitely
called that shit. Yeah, pinpointed that shit. Kof and Woods lose the belts to Judgment Day. Now, this one, I will say, I don't think they capitalized on the heat that the New Day had.
No, and we talked about it, and I feel like I feel like a part of it was the whole. Some people still got the commercials, but another part was after that Big E thing, I don't think they had any plan.
And that's the fucked up part, bro.
And the thing, unless they were really hoping Big E will be healthy by Mania, and that was the plan.
But
and they were
known that beforehand,
right? But at the we talked about it also multiple times. That Raw's tag division is not as good as SmackDown's tag division, so they were just all right. They at some point, and because that turn happened in December or something like that.
Yeah, it's in December.
At some point, maybe February, they were all right, Big E really ain't showing up. Let's just keep doing some stuff, and we'll figure it out from here.
Yo, the War Raiders, Viking Raiders. Yeah, go ahead. Have a Mania moment.
And then it was okay, this is kind of just floating here. All right, let's do something. And then I think the Liv injury really changed a lot of shit. I don't think it just changed the women's division. I feel like Liv's injury also might have played a part in this. Who knows? But okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not mad with the change. And the W means win Balor. Win Balor.
Judgment Day again, bro. We saw Judgment Day carry the belts. Shit, I'm pretty sure Judgment Day was carrying both the red and the blue belts at the same time. During the Bloodline era, they had both at some point in time.
Yes, because they took it from they beat Kevin and Sammy for it,
bro. God damn, nigga, we don't need to see this shit again.
But that was Finn and Priest. That's a different iteration. And then we had Finn and JD, but then they lost. But now we got Finn and JD
again. Damn,
Win Balor.
bro.
The W, big W.
my thing with the whole, my issue with the whole, like, they didn't have anything planned is a fucked up thing, right? Because when you think about these turns that we had recently, John Cena turn, huge, big fucking turn. Seth Rollins turn, huge, big fucking turn. We've had things planned for these motherfuckers.
Seth didn't turn, bro. He's absolutely validated in everything he's doing.
Turn. Big E's turn was, I feel, the Big E turn was, it meant more. It's probably second to John Cena. I think John Cena edges that one out because John Cena was the babyface for 18 fucking years.
Honestly, I'm sorry.
The turn on E, I think is right there.
I think the turn on E is better.
I do too,
because it was more emotional. To me, it hit harder, and it didn't have The Rock involved. So I'm gonna put New Day above the John Cena turn.
So it's like, how do we fuck up
turn? People just started liking it finally the last like 3 weeks.
How do we fuck up that turn? How do we take that momentum and not do anything with that, bro? You don't waste that moment. You don't get that back, bro.
You don't. But yeah, again, I think the two big factors was Raw's tag team division isn't that good compared to SmackDown's. Like, because who are the baby faces they're going to beat up? Alpha Academy? Like, you can only beat up Alpha Academy so much. There's no other babyface like team, like, and, you know, in LWO. You know, it's like, all right, we already saw that because that's what led to their turn essentially. And then and then I feel like they were like they were risking it for the biscuit. They were like, man, he's gonna get clear. And then he's like, nah, dog. And I was like, fuck. Well, we still want to put the belts on him anyway, and then we'll just take it from there. We'll go day to day, and then day after day. And I was like, this is kind of mid.
What's the possibility of, like, let's say they showed up on a SmackDown and just fucked over somebody's number one opportunity? What if they did some shit with Motor City? Like, just a one-off. It don't got to be like, oh, we're here on this roster forever, but like, the New Day showed up and screwed Motor City. Like, now we got New Day versus Motor City, which they would have fucking cooked.
Oh yeah, that would have been amazing. That's another reason I wanted Fraxium to go to Raw, because I'm like, Raw does not have any good fucking babyface teams right now.
We could have pivoted one time for just to extend and make this something. Like, there just was no effort in this. And it's funny because I remember like a tweet that Dax put out that, like, you know, the world doesn't appreciate tag team wrestling like it used to be, and it made me think. It's like, tag team wrestling used to be up there with main title wrestling, bro. Like, when you think about The Rock and, like, you know, the Attitude Era in the 2000s, you think about the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian. You think about these tag team superstars who are so fucking over that they even broke down into, like, you know, their singles run, right? The singles run, they're so successful because of their tag teams. Like, what happened? What happened to the tag team being, like, just as, like, premier as the main event?
Well, Vince didn't care about tag team wrestling that much, and then that's why, like, I mean, NXT was great for a point in time, and then with AEW, like, the first year and a half, 2 years, it was a lot of tag team wrestling, but then they kind of shifted focus. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like,
this is a whole for the whole.
I'm smelling what you're cooking. Like, you know, I think it's a whole, like, legitimately. The best part about SmackDown since it started its 3-hour run was the tag team division, and it gave you hope. And then, like, you know, when Jade and Bianca / Jade and Naomi had the women's tag team, like, they were doing some cool shit. When Bayley and Mercedes had the tag team, they were doing some cool shit. But yeah, no, dude, like, there's something I don't understand it, because I like tag team wrestling. I think it's a really cool like, I think you could do really cool stories with, like, the hot tag type stuff, and
tag team ladder matches are fire, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and even without weapons, like, I feel like there's just so much cool shit you can do, like you know, like the random ways, like how Eddie Guerrero, like, moved the rope that one time, like, to the middle of the ring, and the ref caught him. Was like, well, I'm just trying to tag my dude. I'm holding on the rope. Yeah. Like, there's so many cool things you can do with tag team wrestling. I feel like
that you can do, yeah.
But yeah, no, it got to a point to where even the alternative was like, yeah, you know, we got other stuff to focus on, and then, like, Raw, which is, it's on Netflix. Like, you should, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
nigga.
Tag team wrestling in all promotions, they need a. I mean, besides SmackDown, but if we're still counting WWE, all the promotions kind of need like just a reset when it comes to this tag team division
Quick,
stuff, men and women's.
because like I'm thinking about it from the aspect like if I was a kid watching wrestling today, it's me and my brother. Who are the tag teams that we're emulating, right? I remember like my brothers got the tag team belts bought for them, like, and you were like, okay, I know for a fact we're the Hardys, right? Who are those tag teams today?
If I was a kid, and I'm trying to be like if I was a kid, then for me it's because my favorite tag teams were the Dudleys. Like me and my cousin used to 3D or other cousin, and then Jeff Hardy was like one of my favorite. Like I used to just jump off stuff just because of Jeff Hardy. It's like so like if I was like tag teams today, like for sure Street Profits, and then I guess maybe for sure Street Profits.
That's
sure,
crazy, bro.
Like
that's insane. Because not insane because the Profits are not dope. Profits are fucking fire.
No.
It's just
Babyface
like,
New Day. I would have loved because I didn't like heels when I was a kid. I didn't understand it. I didn't start liking bad guys until I got older. I was like, oh yeah, bad guys are cool. I want to be like Spawn and shit. Spawn's not bad, anti-hero, but yeah, like I would. For me, it would have been like Street Profits, maybe Faxium, and I Pretty Deadly. Those would have been like my top 3 as a kid.
It's like, and that's like, bro, we need more effort here. Like, because in my head, I'm like, just because for me as a kid, I was like tuned into like a little bit of ECW. Like, did not watch it entirely. In that household, I would have got fucked up. But it's like the ECW alternative would have been like watching like Lucha Bros and AEW. Like that would have been like, oh, I would have thought that Ray Phoenix and Penta were like the coolest fucking shit ever.
Oh yeah, no, same.
Like they would have been like, that's the dopest motherfuckers ever. So I would definitely looked at them.
Acclaim when they were hot because I bought an Acclaim shirt. They were so fucking cool.
Yeah, the Acclaim we would have been
like
doing this.
Peak Scissor game. I would have got a pink slip for scissoring and then telling someone to suck it afterward. I would have got that pink slip, bro.
Absolutely. So your Penta, the Lucha Bros, Acclaimed. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and like the Profits, they're cool as shit.
Profits. And just and you might not like this one, but just because of the way like you like seeing people do extreme shit, Darby and Sting would have been cool as fuck too, just with the face paint and everything like that. Like,
I could see it. No, because I was a Jeff Hardy fan. If I 9-year-old me probably would have been a super Darby fan. Yeah, especially knowing that he had we have the same birthday. Like 9-year-old me would have fucking loved Darby Allin.
So I just want that to come back.
Which is why I don't like him now.
Where were you when I needed you, nigga? Yeah. I just want that feeling to come back, bro. Tag team wrestling's like it's fucking fire. I also heard that tonight Collision they had a solid one with Outrunners and FTR. I was not going to check that out, but people have been saying that that's been a really good tag team match. So I'm gonna check that out later tonight.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's that low key should have. Mid key that should have been at the All In Texas. Even though it was a 0 hour because they were kind of hinting. They were kind of hinting that was going to happen at because there was a point in time where they were tagging together and it's like, damn FTR, they kind of low key still in your shtick and making it better, right? I don't know. They could have did that at the pay per view, but that's what's up. I'm glad that they had a good match.
Gunther in this Goldberg thing, scheduled for next week and Saturday night main event. The retirement match for Goldberg. I'm
gonna put some quotes on that.
Air quotes on the retirement aspect of it.
Yeah. It's. I have just a gut.
What do you do if Goldberg walks with his belt?
I get on Twitter and I immediately start hate tweeting stuff. Honestly, man,
does Punk screw Gunther out of this match?
Well, he's focused on Seth right now.
We know Chief's
Man.
coming back pretty soon, so that could open up Gunther versus CM Punk, Chief versus Rollins.
Yeah. Which he's literally only going to be here for SummerSlam. He's going to be gone again because he's going to start filming for Street Fighter.
Okay, timeout. I have no hope for this movie. None. And I love Street Fighter. Akuma's my favorite character in like any fighting game ever. And I have no hope.
I low-key think this is probably going to be just as good as the Mortal Kombat film, enough to get a sequel. And the reason I think that is because the people who are making it, I can't remember his name, but he's a famous YouTuber who a lot of his YouTubes were like choreographed fights and stuff. And you kind of
wrong, nigga. What is 50? What are we doing? 50.
Hey man, that's low-key kind of fire. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm not even a Street Fighter fan. Street Fighter is like, I put Tekken above Street Fighter for me. It's Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter. But I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Someone said was like, hey man, it was like just based on how many wrestlers are in there, it should automatically be a red flag. And then like that's not
it really
50% or anything. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm giving it a chance. I think it has the potential to be as good as Mortal Kombat because the Mortal Kombat movie, the reboot that came out a couple years ago, which we're getting the sequel, it was utterly ridiculous, and some of the acting was kind of bad, but the movie was fire. The movie was fire. Like it was fire enough to get the sequel. So yeah, I know. I have faith in it. I don't want to say I have faith. I think it. I'm not going to go in there with too much expectations. Like it's kind of like watching Godzilla versus Kong or watching Pacific Rim. Like I don't go to those kind of movies to expect an Oscar worthy performance. I go in there because I want to be entertained, and I feel like we might be. Bro, Guile's about to have a lisp. No disrespect. But Guile, like fucking Jason Momoa is playing Blanca. Like.
Bro, it's too crazy, bro. This don't make no sense.
And I feel like because it's so crazy, that's why it might work.
Nigga, Akuma is Japanese. This nigga Roman is Samoan. This don't even make any sense, bro.
Hey, but
they saw it. Oh, God.
The dude who plays Ryu looks like fucking Willer Yuta. But hey, we gotta let it work.
I'm not looking forward to this shit. I'm gonna laugh though, because people are gonna fry this shit the fuck up, and I know, and I hope I'm wrong. If this bitch come out as like the greatest fucking fighting movie like ever, damn, I'm gonna eat my words. I'm gonna come on this same platform and say I was wrong.
I mean, the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I loved as a kid, and it was
painful,
critically like shitted on, and I thought it was a relatively good movie.
I thought it was cool too.
So
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so going back. Roman is all gonna be here for a little bit because he's filming Street Fighter. No chance Gunther loses his belt.
I would hope the hell not. Like, because we don't need another part-time champion. We already got John Cena right now.
Facts.
Like, I don't want to see Goldberg 2 months in a row. Like, to do what?
It is. Well, it's not big gold, but it's big gold too.
Yeah. I mean, if he won it and then lost it the next day, sure. No, he shouldn't win it. He shouldn't win it. He shouldn't win it. Like, honestly, and the biggest reason he shouldn't win it is because if you look at Gunther's main roster run, with his IC and like this, his world title, his main event run, like the opponents that he's faced, none of them are like bad, but he hasn't faced that many high caliber people yet. Like he hasn't faced a Roman yet. He has not faced a Seth Rollins yet. He might have. Did he face Cody? Like an official, I don't think he faced Cody. Yeah, and like an official, just regular match, not the Royal Rumble thing.
Man, that Royal Rumble was fucking gas too.
It was fine. Like so, like if we're talking like legitimately building your resume, like this is his chance to beat a legend, which Goldberg is a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. Like this is his chance to like, all right, like because like if you think about his world title run, it was like Priest, it was Jay, multiple times. I think Sammy for one match. Like a lot of the same people he was fighting when he was in the mid card title. Like he needs to beat a legend. Like he needs someone to be like, I beat fucking Goldberg. I beat Randy. Well, he beat Randy Orton, but yeah, like he needs some more high caliber names to add to his hit list of accomplishments. So that's honestly one of the big reasons I think he needs to win this. Just be like, I beat Goldberg. I retired Goldberg. Same way that Baron Corbin was talking about. Oh, I retired Kurt Angle. Also, like, or like he needs that accolade.
Yeah.
He needs that legend accolade to be like, I beat Goldberg. That's who I am. I'm him. I beat Goldberg. So he needs that
It's
kind of accolade.
crazy. I'm looking at like his past, like the first World Heavyweight Championship run. So, Jay, we have he actually did some dark matches against CM Punk, which is fucking crazy, and fucking AJ, which is wild that we didn't see that.
Oh yeah. A couple of those live shows.
But then he did Axiom, Otis, and Tozawa 3 weeks together, and Axiom was fucking fire in Spain. But like we should not be fighting Otis and Akira. Main event against Jey Uso. We have a triple threat with him, Priest, and Finn. Like he does need a legend. He needs like one of those ones to knock out.
Yeah.
Well, no, they did fight Crown Jewel. I believe it was Cody and Gunther.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that was the King of the Ring type thing, and I think Cody went off of like a roll up or something.
Yeah. That's what that was when they gave him like the belt, the customized belt.
The last Saudi show.
Yeah, but you are right. He definitely needs somebody in here.
Like, he needs a big name. He needs because he beat Randy, but like, and that I don't want to say, but he beat Randy twice. But like, yeah, a legend. He needs a legend. Like you need a legend on your
yeah.
I feel like Goldberg is that one, and like, and again, the reason why even if Gunther wins, the reason I'm still putting quotation marks on it is because I've heard rumors because his son, like Gage, he's part of the NIL thing. I mean, he's doing college football, but like he's had an interview recently where it's like, this WWE will be my backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Henry's son, he just did an NIL. Another Steiner, he just did an NIL. So, I mean, I could see a world to similar to how Brock beat up Gage or put his hands on Gage, or Bobby Lashley put his hands on Gage. I can see a world where like Gunther beats up Goldberg, and he shit talks his son, and that might set up a rematch or something. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, I'm choosing Gunther to win this match.
Roxanne officially joins Judgment Day. She gets a vote, and everybody was like, "Yeah." Raquel a little hesitant.
Yeah,
but
and Dom was hesitant too.
Dom was like, "Hey, I want to check in with Liv," and Finn's like, "Nah, be a man. You don't need her vote,
man. Make her proud."
You. Yeah. What? Make her? Yeah.
I love it.
Set up. And I'm cool with Roxanne joining Judgment Day. I don't think like that's an issue. Either way, she would have joined Judgment Day or been solo. She would have been fine. Like,
I mean, I feel like she was going to join Judgment Day regardless of this, but with this injury, even though it was extremely ill-timed for multiple parties, it sets up when Liv comes back, she's going to be a crazy ass babyface. It's going to be a similar story to when like with the whole Rhea situation that she had this last year. So like it's like, look what happened a year after what you did to Rhea is happening to you now. Like it's one of those karma things, and it's a good, I don't know, she might win the fucking Rumble even though she already won. Like whenever she comes back, she's going to get a crazy ass pop because Liv has been amazing since her return.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. She's I would say if we had to do a awards show now, I'd probably pick her as my female wrestler of the year, just based on since she last returned right before Rumble a year ago, until like everything that she's been doing since this injury. Like she has been absolutely amazing. And she got a movie now, or she's in a movie, or she wasn't, or she's in a, like she's been doing great. Liv is a great, and the baby face, or the pop that she's going to get when she returns, whether she returns as a tweener or whether she turns as a heel again or even a babyface, it's going to be amazing. And then people are going to want to see her and Roxanne and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, the Liv Roxanne match is going to be fire because Roxanne can fucking wrestle her ass off, and Liv does a lot better when she wrestles women of her size. Like when they're like the same size, she can get a lot more off, which has always been my like criticism of like Liv's matches. Like, it's like you put her against bigger people, she can't really get her moveset off. But when you put like her against like a Lyra or her against a Roxanne, like she's gonna fucking take off. Like that's gonna be a great fucking match. Speaking of Lyra, we got tied for my match of the week in Becky or Bayley versus Lyra. Like that was balling, bro. Absolutely fucking balling. Just pure wrestling, pure grabs. It was one of those matches where like I'm taking notes and I'm like, let me put the phone down. Like I gotta lock the fuck in. Like they was going crazy, and I loved it. Only thing I didn't love was the finish, which was the double pin. And I'm like, as a wrestling fan, I'm pissed off. As somebody who watches too much fucking wrestling, I understand a triple threat. Because when I was watching the match, in the middle, I was like, well, whoever wins this match, where the fuck does that place like the other person? Like you can't finish a story without everybody being a part of this. And then the double pin happened. I was like, I hate that, but it makes sense.
It makes too much sense for you to be long term or anyone to be long term upset. Like seeing the finish and to be like be upset for like until commercial break, and then it's like, all right, well, like if you paying attention, like we kind of knew this is where it was going. The triple threat's going to be amazing. I want to be on the soapbox for just like 3 seconds. Be like, Lyra is her. Bird Lady Gang. Her person, like ever since this Becky feud, her personality has been coming out more and more. She was already really good in the ring, but you're starting to see her even more comfortable, just not on the mic, but mostly on the mic because she was already really comfortable in the ring. But like, I'm glad people are like not saying like, oh, I was the first Lyra fan in the world or anything, but I'm glad people are starting to see what I was seeing like when she first came to the main roster, because like she's up next. She's amazing in the ring, and like this feud with Becky ever since Mania, she's been so good on the mic and captivating the fans to work like. And now people are like, fans are they're doing the woo thing in the entrance, like Lyra, and she's still like fucking. I think she's like 25. Like she's still so like her Roxy. Like there's a lot of like the new crop of women that are showing up. Like we are going to be eating for the next few years, or I don't even say for a long while, because even like the Becky's she's not done yet. Asuka, she's still got a lot to take. Asuka's still amazing. We still got Iyo only on her second run. She got like at least 5 more runs in her. You know what I'm saying, with the title.
And I think that right there, what you said is what I'm afraid of. Right? Is that like so many other people still have so much more history to make. Right? Like we talk about, we still ain't seen Rhea, Bianca. Like we haven't got that. That has to happen. Like there's so much more history that these people have to create. That yes, the people behind them they're coming, but it's like you can't fit everybody on the show. WWE doesn't program their shows like that. Like, and I don't want to wait. I have a hard time waiting when people are at their fucking like not max potential, but they're rising, they're peaking, bro. Like we talked about it before, where we think like Braun Breaker should be the one that ends John Cena's like shit and give him the push because he's next up.
Well, that was before the faction, but now we know
the faction, now
he's going to take out Seth eventually. He's going to take out Seth
at some point. Going back to Lyra and Becky and Bayley, I think this is a great opportunity to give Lyra the double trampoline, because if she can beat 2 of the horsewomen, this looks amazing. You get the rub from 2 legends in the game, and it sets you off on your own way. which I think that was like the point anyway. But this should set Lyra up. Lyra should not be. She should be fine if she wins this match. Don't let Becky win this match.
I think Becky's going to retain. And hear me out.
Okay.
I think eventually this is going to set up Lyra to turn heel and to align with Becky. I feel like eventually she's going to be like on some Anakin shit and be like, you know, you were right this whole time. I gotta look at it. I gotta look at this world this way. I feel like eventually Lyra might turn heel and be like, you know what, Becky, you was right. And the only reason I feel like that is because there was a couple like random like there was that one backstage moment where Bayley and Lyra were talking and like Becky was like in the background and she walked in and she was like so upset that she left because she was like, oh, they're plotting against me, you know, whatever. But either way, whether that happens or not, I think Becky is retaining because there's still like you have the story of Lyra trying to not only beat her mentor, but beat another veteran who she considered her friend, who she wanted to win the tag team titles with anyway. But, you know, Bayley, she also wants IC gold. She also wants to be like, so it's like, eventually, like, Lyra's be like,
I can't beat my mentors. I can't fight my legend. I can't fight the people I love. And that's going to be like the switch to where like, you need to like, you got to kill your legends if you want to be better than them.
Yeah. And then like, we need to be like, Becky was right when she was like, you got to take life by the balls type of thing. And you like be more ruthless or whatever. And then eventually that's going to set up a turn for one of them to go face or some shit. But I could see a world to where all this sets up to where Lyra kind of like snaps and is like, Becky was right, or something like that. But even if that doesn't happen, this triple threat is going to be, honestly, it's probably going to be the best match on the show. Just because how much I adore all three of these women. And like, I mean,
Iyo Rhea might
Iyo Rhea.
Heat, nigga.
Iyo, yeah. Yes. But 2 beaters versus a match that has 3 beaters, I'm just, there's potential. Like, Iyo Rhea is going to be absolutely fantastic. But the Lyra Becky match, amazing. The Becky Bayley match that they had at some point, amazing. The Bayley Lyra match that we just talked about, amazing. You put all 3 of them. Like, to me, this has the potential to be the women's triple threat or the men's triple threat of this last Mania.
Sometimes you can add a little too much of something and it fucks it up. Sometimes you can have the perfect fucking hot dog and the nigga throw cheese on that bitch. And now we're like, what the fuck?
Nah, bro. I just need straight mustard on the glizzy, maybe even a little sriracha. You know,
sometimes you need to keep it the 1-2s. I don't think that's going to happen per se, but sometimes
you get too many. I feel like this has the potential. To me, this has the potential to be just as good, if not better, than both Mania triple threats as far as like Seth, Punk, Roman. But it has the potential, but we're talking. Becky is amazing. Bayley is absolutely amazing, and Lyra is amazing. Like, this has the potential to be better than Iyo, Bianca, Rhea. I'm not saying it will be. I'm just saying it has the potential.
Whoa! Wait, what the? Wait! Hold on.
We talk about real beaters, bro. We talk about we talk about graps. Ain't nobody flying. The biggest high flying move you're gonna see in here is an elbow drop, my nigga. Like, we're talking about straight technical. Beating a nigga up, German suplexing, putting you in a submission, Bayley to bellies. We have. Right. I'm just saying. We have a lot of potential. I'm not saying it's gonna be
right, but the weakest wrestler in that triple threat is Becky, and I don't know if she can hang with the other two.
I don't. I ain't gonna rank anybody as far as I'm not ranking nobody.
Ass. It's true.
I don't know if that's true, man. If DT was here, he would absolutely agree with you, probably.
When we come to them graps, nigga, Lyra and Bayley is gonna get after it.
Bro, Becky gave Xia Li a 5-star match, bro.
She ain't got the hands like them too. She ain't got it like them.
Becky got those mother hands, bro. I don't know, man. I ain't gonna go that far. All I'm gonna say is it does have the potential. Don't be surprised if this is on my list for one of the best matches. We'll see.
We definitely gonna find out. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we're gonna talk about Smackdown and AEW. Stay tuned after the break. And we are back, people. Normally, we would be talking about AEW right now, but due to content, we're going to talk about SmackDown. Then we'll talk about AEW. They have a quick promo to open up the doors here with Cody. Shouts out a fan that's going through, I believe he was cancer, which is really dope. Cody's always going to be, good guy Cody. The quarterback, if you will. We see that before he can get his shit off, Randy pops out. And backstory, Cody beat Randy at Crown Jewel, which also was a fire match. I think the opening two matches was gas. And we see that Randy looks at Cody or tells Cody, like, he didn't hesitate. He didn't hesitate to take him out, and during that match, Randy also hesitated to like kick fucking Cody's head off. And that was kind of like the dilemma that Randy's playing with, which I think they might be teasing like a heel turn for Randy. Like
we know that we're gonna like, because we talked about what's like, because there was a point in time that we thought Randy and Cody might be the Mania match this year.
True.
And like after Night of Champions, there was a lot of people like, oh, Cody was working heel, Cody like. But the story that they were trying to tell was he's not working heel. He's just not pulling. He's not pulling the trigger, because that was part of the that was part of Cody's story when it came not only to AJ, because it started with AJ low key, like after because they had the two matches, like they had the one match and then like the fake retirement, and then it was the I Quit match to where he didn't hesitate in the I Quit match. But then, you fast forward to the John Cena match, he hesitated, obviously. He fell for the random, oh, please don't hurt me thing. And then, so it's like the story they're telling is like Cody, he's not trying to he's still obviously full-fledged fucking babyface. Like,
right.
You're open to promo, you're trying to, you're giving praise to someone, like he's still super babyface. But yeah, Randy comes out and he's like, yeah, like I respect that you didn't hesitate it. I hesitated because I was going to punt kick you, which granted, if we're like, to be fair, if we're talking about power, like we're talking about power scales and stuff, and as far as hesitating, having your homie run into a turnbuckle versus I'm gonna kick your goddamn head off. There's very different power scales. So I'm sorry, Randy, but I'm gonna lean more towards Cody. I'm sorry that you ran into a turnbuckle, my guy, but he did. Yeah, I didn't Pat McAfee your fucking skull.
Right.
But yeah,
and didn't he unveil the turnbuckle? Wasn't that Randy's idea? Yeah,
I think it was. And then and there was also the spot where he was like working on Randy's back, pause, where he's like stretching him up, post pause. But Cody wasn't working heel. Like he was not hesitating. He's trying to get back to the throne, the championship. So this was a moment where it was just two baby faces acknowledging like, hey, it's not like you poked me in my eyes or kicked me in the balls or anything. You saw that it hit something that I pulled off myself. Pause, and then you took the pin. It was still two baby faces like, hey, you didn't hesitate it. I hesitated, and I respect you for not hesitating, because you know what? I'm the Viper. I'm the Apex Predator. I'm a legend killer. I did a lot of awful stuff in my fucking 30 years or 20 years, but I respect it. Blah blah blah. And then we get a return, which was a really unexpected return. I don't know if we stated this on air or not, but this was a taped episode of SmackDown. So the SmackDown obviously already it was taped after Raw because they had the fourth off. I didn't see any spoilers at all, so I did not know Drew returned. So this was a shock. This was a shock for me. Yeah, Drew returns. He's calling himself the Alpha Male. Shout out to Konosuke. And
I was like, hey, there's only one.
Hey, one. There was a point in time where there was two role models. Everyone can live. We all can be friends. We're all good. Yeah, and he was instigating. He was like talking shit. He was like, hey, but I saw the match. I saw what he did to you. Blah blah blah, and it ends up with an RKO. So That was it.
Promo felt not pointless. I don't want to say that, but it was like, well, Drew, why are you here? You came out to talk your shit, instigating, and got RKO'd. That's like, you didn't have to insert yourself in this business at all, but you did, and now you got to deal with Randy Orton. You got to deal with the angry Randy Orton. You got to deal with the Viper Randy Orton. Like, that's, I don't know if you want to deal with that, man. And one thing I did realize, and I really love about Randy, is that, like, he's so good at, like, playing this role or acting, like, with his face of, like, the split personalities. Like, he's really good with, like, just the head turns or the eye rolls. Like, he's very good at trying to, like,
showing that has voices in his head.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
They want him to do bad things.
Like, he's really good at playing like a psychotic, like, just person.
I have voices in my head and they're telling me to burn this building down. I gotta burn this building down.
He's good. Also in SmackDown, we see that Tiffany calls out Trish Stratus. Or actually, before that, I think Jade pops out.
Yeah, Tiffany comes out, and then Jade comes out, and she's like,
I don't care who you face. Whoever wins, I'm taking heads off.
Girl! Oh, god damn. I just hit my toe. Oh, girl. Oh, God. All right, I'm sorry. God damn.
What shit. I ain't never seen a nigga hit his toe and say, ooh, girl.
I don't want to be canceled, bro. There's a lot of things. It's the first thing that came to my mind.
Hit his toe and turn it to one of the 5 heartbeats. That's fucking funny.
But yeah. Tiffany comes out. She talks her shit. Jade comes out, has a good promo. I feel like because it's been obviously weeks since we recorded or whatnot. Jade is it's steadily improving. We got to give her some credit for that. She's improving. She still needs to work on her selling. And when I mean, like, during Night of Champions,
like the Oscar match, bro.
The Oscar match. It's honestly I feel like the reason you didn't like it, it's. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like one of the reasons is it's still Jade selling, because there was a point in time when she's supposed to sell a leg and then she does a kip up, and I'm like, what are we doing here? So, and there's been plenty of times where it's like she's not selling with her face. It was like you just got kicked in the head and someone's climbing a turnbuckle and you're supposed to look groggy, play it off, but you're literally just like, you're damn near 2-stepping and you're kind of holding your chin, but you're looking up, you're waiting for the spot. And it's like, that's not selling.
What's the term? Her in-ring psychology is not the best.
No.
It's just like,
she's been getting better. And to be fair, she didn't have that much training in that particular part. And that's no shade to the other company. She was a newbie when she got there. They gave her a Goldberg run, so it's like you can't really learn.
Yeah, you don't really need it. Yeah, because you're on a Goldberg run.
Yeah, you're on a Goldberg run. So but I mean, as far as this show goes, and like,
you know how hard that is, bro, to have a bad match with Asuka.
You're the first person that said it was a bad match. I heard it was either good or okay. You were the first person that I heard that said it was bad.
Bad is hard. But it wasn't. It wasn't too enjoyable.
Okay, all right, and that's fair. She still needs a little work, but the training wheels are off because this is her solo run. She's already taken like 2-3 L's. And they're pushing the shit out of her. So like right now for her, I don't want to say it's like shit or get off the pot type of moment, but this is time to like legitimately prove yourself. And I feel like she is proving herself, but as far as what she still needs to work on legitimately, she needs to work on that selling. Because again, like you can't have someone work on your ankle the entire match on some Kurt Angle shit and then you do a kip up like it's nothing. And then you start selling the leg again 5 minutes after that kip up. We can't do that. It's just not good. But in ring wise, she has been like she has improved, and like on the mic, like this little promo that she cut, it was not bad. It was good.
Promo was good.
It was good.
Promo was definitely good.
Ooh, that is DT's car right there. But yeah, I
we're gonna see. I will never lose faith in Jade because it's Jade Cargill. But I am definitely like just interested in seeing like how do we progress? How do we get better from here? Looking at like her past like matches, we see that Jade, she had the Oscar match, she did Roxanne, she had the triple threat with Naomi and Nia. Like she's had a lot of like matches with people who can orchestrate in the ring, so she's had the training to get better. It's just on her to apply that and not just worry about like the image aspect of who you are and what you're doing in the company. But as far as like, but once again, the in-ring psychology, like because everybody has it to where Bianca sells, Rhea sells, Nia sells. Like the only person I heard that don't sell is Karrion Kross.
They said he doesn't do back bumps, and then he did like 5 whatever.
Bro, obnoxious back bumps too. He made sure that everybody saw him get flat on his back. Which is
but to be fair, before that rumor came out, like there was 2 videos to try to prove that statement, and like in those videos, he was like weirdly not taking a back bump. So it's like I was kind of low key believing it just a little bit. I was like, because I saw 2 videos. It was a speed match against him and it was a luchador. It wasn't Ray Phoenix. It might have been Joaquin Wilder or something, or maybe Dragon Lee. I think it was Dragon Lee. And like he did a hurricane or something, and like the way that he fell was like you were supposed to kind of like do a roll, like like the way he fell it was like it's like you like accidentally tripped and like stumbled to the side and just fell on your like your shoulder. So like there was the 2 videos I saw. I was like, oh, maybe this person has a point. But then like the Sammy match happens and it's like, all right,
like he's overemphasizing the back bumps against Sammy. That shit was funny.
Yeah, but what was the point of this? What were we talking about?
It was a little slight on Jade selling.
Okay, no, yeah, her in ring wise. If we just as far as her WWE run, when we see her at Mania with the big 3 versus like the match at Clash at the Castle. And the which I think was the same match where they had that weird awkward moment with her and like Shayna Baszler and stuff, and then like there was another match like with some like weird awkward selling. She is getting better, like in ring wise. She's good. It's still selling.
She did like the pin against Asuka. It was a very wonky pin too. Like that's just me like nitpicking, but it was like I don't know.
I think it's also an ego thing because the match that she won, when she beat Roxanne to get to the Asuka match, like there was a point in the last like 2 minutes to where it's like she was telegraphing that you knew she was going to win. Like, even if you already knew she was going to win, because honestly, I low-key thought Roxanne was going to, but like it was to the point where she was telegraphing that she was going to win, like body language wise and whatnot. She still really needs to just work on her body language and her selling. Like being able to have a match though, like she's a lot better. One of the reasons when we were talking about it earlier, where I wouldn't be mad if Trish won or if Tiffy retained just for Naomi to cash in. I wouldn't be mad at either of those 2 options, only because I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of mid-key worried about a Tiffany and Jade match, just because who's going to call that match? Like who's going to like call
who's the coach? Yeah,
because I think they're both still pretty green.
Yeah, the ref would be heavily involved in that.
but the ref can only be so much involved. Like either you have a person who's like a Becky and a John Cena, to where you hear them calling all the spots, or you don't, or you have someone, or you just have people just like fucking wrestling, to where it might turn into a shoot on accident, or you just see a bunch of sloppiness. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised again if like Naomi catches in an Evolution, or if Trish wins,
and she can call the spots.
And then she can call the spots for, you get Trish and Jade, and maybe Jade pins Trish. So that's like, when we're talking about people beating legends and shit, like that's a big moment for Jade, and then Naomi can still cash in at SummerSlam. I'm worried about Tiffany and Jade having a match by themselves.
A 1v1. Yeah, I can see that.
Just because like, I mean, and Tiffany's like, she's getting into her stride now too. Like after that Charlotte shit, like she's getting into her shot. Like she's absolutely in her stride. I just don't know if she's like, let me lead the entire match ready, especially against someone like Jade. So yeah, that's my only worry. But all these women are great. But yeah, that was it.
She has a promo with Jade and Trish, so we see Trish versus Tiffy is going to be the match at Evolution. Prior to that, we see that Trish and Jade have an interaction backstage where Jade's like, hey, whoever wins, I'm going to be there. I'm coming up next, right beyond whoever. Trish accepts that, walks away, and then we get a nasty little just briefcase bump. And we see a glorious briefcase, a caution briefcase that's just with the tape. Naomi's all cautioned out with the proceed with caution.
Believe in the wave
tagline, and it just works. Like, do not fuck up Naomi's run. She's looking great, bro. This is the best Naomi's looked ever, in my personal opinion. And I've been watching since like 2016, 2017, maybe 2017. I do want to talk about something though, real quick, because something else happened at Night of Champions. That boy took his first loss. That man Jacob Fatu took his first loss. Also prophesized by the way, because I did say the person who should beat Jacob and needs the win is Solo.
Yes, that is correct.
Solo Sikoa beats Jacob, becomes United States champion. With that, he also adds another bloodline member.
Member to my family tree. The MFT, baby. The MFT, baby.
I don't know.
His name was Hikuleo. And he was signed around. I think he was signed a little bit before they signed Jacob. Yeah, he's just been in the PC for like a year. He's been in PC for like a year. But yeah, Tonga returns. The infamous Tonga, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. The master of the taint punch. He returns. Then you got JC Mateo, that goddamn walking potato, and then Tala. Bro, I wish we'd. I didn't tell you this, but I told you like there's a couple people who are so lucky that we had those 3 weeks off, because I would have had my ISO moment, and one of my ISO moments would have been that one scene where it was right after Money in the Bank. It was the SmackDown after Money in the Bank, where Solo was like, "I'm gonna give you a chance to apologize." You just see JC Mateo in the background, not emoting, not doing nothing. Just wearing these weird ass sunglasses. He wearing the Cisco sunglasses. Just standing there, bro. What is something? Lifeless. Bro, like you are such an NPC henchman. Like, what is going on? What is like, bro? Like,
he was lifeless. And then, bro, when I think it was Saturday night, not Saturday night, it was Night of Champions. He's running down the ramp. I'm like, this don't even look threatening, bro. Like, he don't look like a menace at all. Bro, it's like, damn, bro. They needed Hikuleo. That was the perfect audible. You needed somebody who can come out and be a powerhouse, because Mateo is just not cutting it, bro.
No, like his finisher's cool, bro, but like his finisher's cool, but like at least Hikuleo looks 6 feet. His voice don't match his body. I'm not, no disrespect to him. His voice don't match his body, but goddamn it, he at least can show stuff on his face. Pause. Like he at least like like a moat, you know, like
I
bro,
need that
like
photo, bro. That shit is fucking funny.
bro, that photo is so fucking hilarious because like not only is the lighting pretty bad, but even the lighting was good. It just honestly the lighting is bad for on purpose because if it was better, all you're doing like you just see you just see a threatening
Oh fuck,
fucking
bro! This shit is so fucking funny, bro. I saw this shit and I was like, "Yeah,
bro.
that's it."
He looks
He's
like an NPC in the Lean Like a Cholo music video, but he's wearing the Cisco glasses from the which music video is that when Cisco's wearing those damn glasses, those goggles?
so he
It
had.
bro.
It
And
looks
it's like
bad.
watch some tape, bro. Like you never watched Diesel tape before? You didn't watch have you never just looked at Bodyguard tape before, bro? Like
It's funny. Yeah. So Solo is the United States champion, which I believe is going to be a pretty solid run. I also didn't technically like that when Jacob's looking for a partner, he's immediately gets Jay or Jimmy. Like there was no like discourse. There was no like.
yeah, I agree with you. I feel like there should have been more of a conversation. Because even with this last Friday, where it was like, so I heard you need a partner. Well, are you ready
Yeah.
to get in? Where you fit in?
Like
Like it was just to me what's it, it's the what it reminds me of is what Vince did with his booking, where it was like, it doesn't matter if you betrayed me 3 months ago. Now that we're both baby faces, it's all Gucci. We're
it's
all
all
good.
good.
It's
We're all
like,
fam.
you know, there's no conversation needed. No, like, hey, remember when you fucking took me out? Remember when you tried to kill my brother? Or like, there's nothing like, hey, yeah, hey, you don't like Solo? I don't like Solo now. Solo's my brother. He's your cousin. We cousins. Like, yeah, we on the same team now. It's like, there should be a conversation on camera where it's like,
Yeah.
let's hash shit out. It's like, you know, all he had to, all Fatu has to do is like, hey, I was manipulated, yeah, I mean, but I'm Gucci now, yeah, I mean,
And
like
we
just
cool.
anything,
It
like,
ain't even cool.
just
I
a
know we had our
simple
differences in the
conversation.
past.
Yeah,
But I'm here now. Cool. Bam. Let's go. But it was like, y'all niggas, this is the first, I'm pretty sure this is the first time we seen them interact. If I'm not mistaken.
on the same, no, like they interacted, but it was fighting, and that, like
Yeah,
this,
like
like now,
okay.
now they're just cool,
Right.
and I'm like that is such a Vince thing. That is such a Vinceism to where it's like, all right, we're all good now, even though we were beefing literally 3 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get into some AEW Dynamite. Once again, like I said before, episode 300. It kicks off with a promo. Hangman, big fucking pop for Hangman Adam Page here. To kind of shorten this up a little bit, we find out the stipulation match for him and Moxie at All In is going to be the Texas Death Match. I believe they did this once before.
This is not the first Texas Death Match, that's for sure.
No, not between them.
No, yeah, no. I mean, in general.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a Texas Death Match here. It was a nice promo by Mox, where he's like, you know, you don't want that. Like, you don't want to sit here and you think you want a Texas Death Match, but you don't want to cross those lines. And Hangman's talking about, you know, I'm with the shit. I'm ready to, like, I want to do this so much that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do this. And by whatever it takes means I'm gonna fucking was it Buckshot Lariat Marina Shafir, which she also stayed in the ring for far too long.
Yeah, okay, so that's my problem with that whole segment.
She was lingering for a little bit
because I don't have a problem with the intergender fighting or whatever. Because I saw some trolls be like, "Oh, AEW, it's cool to hit women AEW," and then someone was like, "What? You don't remember Randy Orton, RKO, and Nia Jax, or doing all that?" Like, I am fine with intergender wrestling.
Yeah,
so
intergender
before I say whatever I say, I just want to let it be known, like, I'm fine with the shit. It's wrestling. I can disband my disbelief to a certain extent. Again, but it's only so far I can disband my disbelief. But as far as this goes, the setup for this just made zero sense. And this is one of those reasons, or this is one of these segments to where, like, when someone like myself or someone on IWC was like, this is why they need producers. This is kind of why they need producers. So, because he asks for Hangman asked for this match. Mox is like, nah, you don't really want it. Some stuff happens to where, Marina slaps him twice. And then I think she somehow falls down. And then she gets up. And then as she gets up, Hangman's on the apron, essentially about to set up his shit. And she's just sitting there. She's just literally sitting there. As Hangman continues to talk for like 30 more seconds. And she's just sitting there while Moxley's out in the people, like he usually is. And then Claudio and Wheeler are out in the people. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for two reasons. Whereas, like, he's outnumbered. Just jump him like you've been doing for the last couple of months. You just kidnapped him 2 weeks ago.
I thought Joe and them were out there too. Ops came out.
I don't remember the Ops coming out.
Yeah, Ops came out and they kind of neutralized Claudio and
okay, all right. Even even with the Ops coming out, they were still nowhere near Marina. Like they weren't like doing a lumberjack match to where they were stopping Marina to leave the ring. She was just like standing there.
Yeah,
as you said,
like,
and it was like it was probably a minute and a half of like she fell down, she stands up, he says some more things like, "Oh, you really don't want to give it to me? All right, bet." And then he clotheslines her. She sold it. The clothesline was good, but it was what was happening before that clothesline was like, this is so awkward to where it's like, why are you just standing? Bitch, roll out the ring. Type of thing. But the segment as a whole, it did what it needed to do. I'll say that the segment as a whole, it did what it needed to do. As you like, Hangman, he's been on his promo game. I mean, he usually is on his promo game. He's a really good promo.
He's been on fire.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, he's been on fire. I actually really enjoyed this Moxley promo. I don't usually enjoy Moxley promos, but as far as his retort, I actually enjoyed it. And like the face that he made when the crowd was like chanting "bald" for a hot second, he's like, "Bruh, you say that for the other nigga." Say that for the other nigga because I can grow some hair if I really want to. So that part was funny, but yeah, no, the awkwardness of her just standing in the ring killed I don't want to say. Killed is a hard word, but it did ruin the segment for me because it was like, you guys had it, it was there. It was just, it was like they that was a thing that they planned. They talked about. They talked about through it through text, but they didn't rehearse it at all. Is how I felt. Like they didn't rehearse it. They talked about it, but they didn't rehearse it, and it like on TV it just came off like, what is going on? To be fair, just in case someone wants to call me out on being biased, or we didn't have an episode or anything, but to me, it reminded me of how some people felt about the John Cena pipe bomb versus CM Punk. It was like, why is this nigga just laying here in the middle? No one's helping him. He got put through a table. There's no refs. There's no agents helping him. He's just sitting there for 10 minutes. Sitting there for a minute. He's just sitting there. Yeah, like to me,
the pipe bomb promo was fire.
The promo was fire. No, the promo was fire, but the biggest critique of the whole thing was like, oh, why is this guy just sitting there this entire time?
Yeah,
and if he really is that hurt, then technically there would have been refs or agents sent out. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, depending on how tapped you in with wrestling, are you going to disband your disbelief? Type of thing, because like there were people who were arguing like, oh, well, it's kind of similar to what happened in the original pipe bomb. But at some point, John Cena didn't get up, but he did sit up, and he was like just listening in the corner. Punk was just laying there on the fucking table, the entire time. So to me, like they're both the same kind of offenses. So like if I'm gonna give shit to one, I'm gonna give shit to to the other. So to me, they're both the same offenses. Like, why are you just standing there? Why are you like? You're not even like she was literally like she stood up and she's just looking like towards my, like she's not even doing the groggy like, oh, I'm dazed thing. Like she was just standing there.
No, you're not wrong.
Same
You're not wrong
as
at
Punk would just laying there, just like, like, bro, get up, nigga. Like you got put through a table 8 minutes ago.
Roll over. Get out
Like
the ring.
roll out the ring or something.
Yeah.
You know. So to me,
You're
it's
not wrong.
to me, it's the same thing.
Looking at the history, like the Texas Death Match, there's been 8 in AEW so far. Adam Page has been a part of 5 of them. I don't
Makes
know
sense.
I don't know the win-loss record because they don't really have it up right now. But this is his bag.
He's part of 8. Ooh, if I had to guess, he's part of 8. Oh, I gotta look at my hands. I'll say he won 5 and lost 3 because I know he for sure beat Lance Archer.
Okay.
So I want to say that was his first title defense once he won. I'll say he's 5 and 3. That's my guess.
I know just off of recent memory, he killed Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
He killed Swerve. Lance Archer. And I don't know who won out of the first time he met Mox in one, and I don't know about the Cole one, where he fought Adam Cole. But yeah, this is his bag. He's comfortable in this environment. I wouldn't want to see him lose in a Texas death match in Texas to Mox,
Which is exactly what he will.
From here we get Mercedes Mone versus Mina in Mercedes 1000th match. So congrats to her on reaching 1,000 matches. This was a fucking banger match. They gave the women a lot of time, and to pause real quick, I think this should happen more often to where the women should have a lot of time on Dynamite. I know they get a lot of time on Collision, but I want them to have more time on Dynamite because they deserve it. Yeah, match was fucking fire between Mina and Monet. This also has Toni Storm ringside where Tony's watching Monet in a very frantic look, like she's kind of like afraid, but not scared, but just cautiously like checking out the opponent. Post match, Mercedes ends up attacking Toni Storm with the belt, and those are drink on Luther, and then sheds off. What I want to talk about here is out of 1,000 matches, this could just be a me thing. My top 5 Monet Sasha Banks matches. I want to get them out. I think this is like a good moment to kind of go over some of my favorite matches that she has. Number 1, and I think this should be a no-brainer. I think Sasha versus Bianca Mania is kind of like revolutionized a lot for not only the women's division but for black women. So that's number 1. Sasha and Bayley at Brooklyn is probably arguably one of the greatest women's matches I've ever seen. The takeover one is just fucking hard. Any match with her and Stat, so between the World's End or the Full Gear one, pick one. I have Spring Breakthrough with Athena. I thought that match was fucking dope. And then she has one in New Japan with Hazuki, which is really fucking dope. So if you haven't watched that, that's a solid match. Strong Style Evolve 2024. Her and Hazuki fucking break the walls down. Honorable mention was her and Harley Cameron. Grand Slam. I like that match. I like what it did for Harley. I enjoyed it. I thought that was a good match.
I enjoyed the match too, as well. I don't have a top 5, but if I had a top 3, well, I know I have a top 5, but I would have to think about it. I'm on the spot. But if I had a top 3, it's definitely in no order. It's definitely her and Bianca at WrestleMania. It's definitely her and Bayley in Brooklyn, and then her and Becky in the Hell in a Cell. Also, her and Bayley in the Hell in a Cell. Those are going to be top 4, and then the 5th is going to be one of her Statlander matches.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. because she had posted like her favorite matches that she's done.
She did. Yes, I thought that's why you brought it up.
It in theory, yeah, kind of. It kind of wraps around the same way.
Do you have the
She
list on you?
mentioned that I don't have the list popped up, but
Okay.
I had pulled some two things that I saw on her list where she was like anything with Asuka, and I forgot that like she did have a couple matches with Asuka that I need to go back and like check out.
Yeah, like during the pandemic, like when it was her and Bailey, like when they were on their run, during like there was a match with her and Iyo that was fire. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
gotta
there's
go back. And she said Hell in a Cell in 2020, and I don't remember that.
I think that's the Becky one. I think that's when she came back with like I want to say that's when she came back and she had the blue hair and she attacked Natalia. I'm pretty sure the 20 like so yeah, I'm looking at her thing. I'm looking at her page right now. So it was like Brooklyn, WrestleMania 37, Hell in a Cell 2020, anything with Asuka, BITV, no,
Battle in the Valley.
Bellin,
It's a New
okay,
Japan show.
Full Gear, World's End, Tokyo Dome, AEW Spring Breakthrough.
Yeah, that was Athena. Hell in a Cell 2020 is her and Bailey for the women's championship.
Yep.
Yeah,
that match was
nice
fucking fire.
26 minutes. I gotta go check that out. That
And honestly, like what it was her and Charlotte on a Raw. I think it was a False Count Anywhere match. That match had me on my fucking at the time. That match had me on my fucking toes, man. Like, granted, her and Charlotte were like doing fucking hot potato with the title, which is what soured a lot of her stands because like, please give her a long ass fucking run. Like, why? Like,
that's true because she's like her runs were like broken up a lot.
You know, like her runs were like legitimately like fucking 20 days, 30 days or whatever. Like that's what soured a lot of like, and I was part of that fan base where I was like, what is this bullshit? And then she took her breaks or whatever, came back. That Hell in a Cell match with her and Bailey was fired. The Hell in a Cell match with her and Becky was fired too. And like yeah.
It's funny once again that you mentioned that because Victor Perry, he does the wrestling with the kids in the elementary school.
Yeah,
wrestling club,
yep.
Put out his list of like the Mercedes matches, and once again, I didn't remember some of these, so I'll just run through real quick. He had Monet versus Hazuki, Bailey versus Banks, Athena, Kyrie in 2023. I didn't know she fought Kyrie in 2023, so I got to go check that out too. That was in New Japan. There's a 30-minute Iron Man match between her and Bailey that I got to go check out. That was in NXT. Statlander's in here. The Hell in a Cell with Bailey, Bianca. And then he mentions that match that you mentioned with Charlotte. So Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair, Falls Count Anywhere, and like it was on a Raw, like a random Raw.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking fire. Because yeah, she wins the title, like she does the bank statement on the steps, like in between the fans, like Charlotte was in between like the guardrail or something, like not the guardrail, but like the handrail. Like I don't know, it was fucking fire. And like it was one of those moments that like it was one of those matches that got my wife to like wrestling because her and Mercedes her and Mercedes look alike. Like they legitimately, like if you look at if you look at Mercedes' baby picture with my wife's baby, like they look alike. So the way I was able to get my wife into wrestling was like, this person looks like you. You can cosplay as them because like she likes to she just got into cosplay. She's like I like cosplaying. Like we started going to Comic-Con and stuff. And it's like she looks like watch wrestling with me. She's cool as shit. Blah blah blah. And then like she fell in love with fucking Mercedes. Like to the point where it's like she met her. Like we both met her. I mean I have a picture of Mercedes on my wall and on my phone. Sasha at the time. I was a Sasha stan before my wife was a Sasha stan. I used to be the OG Sasha stan. I used to fight. I would, dog. If you would have gave Sasha shit in 2016, 17, 18, I would have probably fought you or at least argued with you for sure because that's how tapped out that was like I loved her. I still love her. I don't like her as much as I used to, but like Mercedes, in ring wise is absolutely fucking phenomenal. She's one of the she's not my Beyonce wrestler, no matter how much she wants to tell everyone she is. She's not my personal Beyonce, but she is one of the best women wrestlers of all time.
You can't have a conversation about women's wrestling and not put her in that. I feel like that's just being disingenuous.
If you're just talking about in ring wise, she has to be in the conversation.
In ring, yeah.
If you're talking about all of it, I can see how you might put her, maybe like past 5, but she still has to be before 10.
Even with that, it's like even presentation, like Mercedes or Sasha Banks, their gear fire. Like,
oh no, there's certain engagement, like there's certain accounts that do the engagement tweeting that will still post her Sailor Moon thing when she did the splits for the first, and that was the first time anyone ever saw her do the splits, and was like, and that's what started gooning. Seeing Mercedes do the split for the first time is what started wrestling gooning, because she did it. We're talking about someone who's obviously super attractive. She did the splits for the first time on camera wearing a Sailor Moon outfit. It hit so many fucking
different corners.
It's like, I was like, oh yeah.
Woke up the neckbeards. So it's funny because going through his list again, it was that Sasha Charlotte match. She has a Sasha Becky in NXT. I forgot about the triple threat between Becky and Charlotte at Mania. I don't know how that slipped my mind. That happened the year after the Bianca one. There is a Hell in a Cell match with Becky Lynch in 2019. That's on his list as well. A Thunderdome match with Bayley in 2020. Asuka Extreme Rules in 2020. Like
fire.
She just has like undeniable, bro.
2020, her and Bayley. In 2020, her, Bayley, Drew McIntyre, and there's like one more name, maybe 2 more names that are slipping my mind. But in 2020, like if we're talking about pandemic wise, like
Bloodline, nigga, hit Roman.
Roman
and Jay.
Yeah, no, but yes, but I'm talking about like matches though. Like if we're talking about like straight fucking like
Hell in a Cell with Roman and Jay.
Yeah, no, that match was amazing. But we're talking about consistent. Okay,
Joshua.
If I'm talking about consistent graps, like just back to back consistent graps, like 2020, her and Bayley were the MVPs of 2020 for me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like pandemic wise, like if we're talking Thunderdome, pandemic, Bayley, Mercedes, Bayley, Sasha were the two top. Drew Drew and Seth were a nice second, fourth, because Seth, that's when Seth had that crazy ass Mania with Kevin Owens. That's when Seth gave Dominic his first solo match, and like was like, oh, like it made us believe, oh, Dominic was hey he didn't need NXT. If it wasn't for Seth, Seth made people believe Dominic didn't need NXT, and eventually, like in theory, he kind of did.
That is true. But it
eventually did pan out. It eventually did pan out because Dominic versus Seth, that was Dominic's first solo match, if I'm not mistaken, and Seth put on for that guy because that's what my boy does. He makes people look good. But no, yeah, Bayley and Mercedes were my MVPs of the Thunderdome pandemic era because we got like you said, like we got those two versus the Kabuki Warriors. We had a triple threat with I think it was Sasha, Iyo, Rhea, or something close to that. We had some just straight fire, but at this point we are pandering. DT's not showing up. You're a whore. We've been trying, like we've been. DT, you're a whore.
This was a great segment. I just wanted to get out that the GOAT is the GOAT.
She up there. Mercedes is amazing. I will always like Mercedes as far as talent was.
Up there. I guess we go.
Okay. So this is what I want to say about this match. All right, real quick, and I will try to keep this brief. I think Mina should have won this match. And that's for two reasons.
Okay.
One, the first reason is I think that we should. I know we're on this whole belt collector phase or whatever. It's cool. It is what it is. But it doesn't. Mina should have won so that we don't repeat the bottleneck of a division. Like this AEW's women division has already kind of been in a bottleneck because at the end of the day, it's all about Tony and Mercedes. And the last couple of months has been nothing but setting up Tony and Mercedes. And assuming Mercedes wins, which I think she's going to win, then what happens is, which sets up to my number 2 point, is that you're going to do is you're going to reap you're booking yourself into a corner similar to the Bloodline when they had the tag team titles and Roman had both of the titles. You're setting yourself up for a bottleneck because now what is the rest of the division supposed to do? Like, as far as AEW's women's division goes, there's already so many women fighting for TV time. Like, if you're not Mercedes and you're not Tony, you are fighting for TV time. So if Mercedes wins, which I think she is going to win, then now you have both of those, the main AEW titles on her. And there's no one set up in either division as far as mid card or main event card. Like, there's no one set up to beat her. I'm
going to answer that. I think I know. I have an idea what they're going to do. It's exactly the same thing they did when Roman had all the belts. What they do? Created another belt. Except I don't think it's going to be a singles belt. I think they're going to create women's tag belts. And I think that's what they're going to try to like alleviate some of that time with, is with a tag team division for women. Which, great. Cool. Bring on women's tag team belts. But also not great because we have everything like tied up in one person. I got to look at how like Kenny's belt collector run went to see how he lost the belts, because they're probably going to follow some formula of that. Because at this point,
he,
I think
he took multiple pins. Mercedes lost one belt and it was in a triple threat, and she did not get pinned or touched at all. And I'm not saying that's not going to happen for her, but the Mercedes Hogan memes might be a little more accurate as opposed to like the Rhea Hogan or the Becky Hogan. I don't know. I think also, I'm also being facetious.
Yeah, either way, she's gonna have to take some pins. Whether she gonna take some pins, there's gonna be a lot of triple threats. There's gonna be some triple threats, some battle royals. There's gonna be some fatal four ways, whatever the case may be. But then belts have to come on.
All right, so let me ask you a hypothetical. Let's say hypothetically, because what, she has 6 belts again, or she's at 7.
I think it's
now?
like 6. Yeah.
She's at 6 again. If she were to lose 4 of them via triple threat, are you looking at her reign the same? Are you looking at her as a character the same? Or are you going to look at her different to like, okay, I can kind of see the Hogan memes, like.
There's 2 different things that I look at. One, I think like talked about it earlier today, is like she don't have creative control, she has creative input, which she's earned. I think that like losing it all in triple threats would be a little sour to me personally. So to answer your first question, I don't think you should lose them in triple threats. I think that's a cop out. I think at some point as a wrestler, you got to take a pin. I think she knows that as well. I don't look at it like the Hogan shit, because Hogan was doing some fuck shit. Hogan had them niggas like lay down and he pinned them for the belts. If I see that level of egregious shit, we're gonna have a good time on this podcast. I'm gonna come out here and flame the fuck up. I don't want to see him triple threats though. I think the way that she got him in 1v1s, you should lose him in 1v1s. Not all of them, but maybe a good majority of them. But also with that, some of these belts are not controlled by AEW. So like if the motherfuckers who run the British Rev Pro want her to keep the belt for however long, that's on them. But as far as the way she loses the AEW ones, if she lost one in the triple threat and one in the 1v1, I'm fine. Because everybody's not going to see her lose the international ones anyway. However, I do think that comes back to bite her in the ass at Forbidden Door.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, all this is speculation, but the way I've seen her, the way that the way that she's been moving, the way that I've been seeing how the way she moves, the way that I am seeing it, it doesn't mean obviously I'm right or anything, you guys, but the way that I've been seeing it, it doesn't seem, to me, it seems like her and her fan base, the way that she's been moving since she's returned, she has been living out what quote unquote should have happened in her WWE run if Vince was just not pro Charlotte or pro whatever the fuck. She does not lose. And if she does lose, she does not lose clean. She loses with a triple threat where she's not pinned or submitted or whatever. Could you lose 6 titles that way? I would hope not, because that is very egregious. But I don't see her losing to Tony. I feel like
Nah.
when it comes to TK, like I'm not saying he's a pushover. I'm not going to go that far. But when it comes to TK, like he respects his big dogs. Like if his big dogs want something and they have a vision, he's going to let them play it out, which is why the Death Riders have been a thing for so long, which is why Chris Jericho had multiple iterations of all the BS he's had.
I will one up you. It's
Okay.
not that he's like, because you're right. He loves treating his big dogs right. But what I noticed about Tony's a historian. So Tony wants to do history shit. So Mercedes beating Tony Storm would be history. It's like this woman has 6, 7 belts. He wants to be in those kind of categories. So yes, I see that. I see Mercedes winning because he wants to hit that level of aspect, right? He wants to have. We have the first promotion where she had 7 belts and she carried 7 belts for 7 different continents. Like that's what he wants. So if you said that, for sure. Also think that Sasha, or not Sasha, but Mercedes is getting the Roman run. She's getting everything that Roman got. She's getting she has the control of what she wants to do, who she wants to fight.
She's not
Like,
getting okay. Wait, no,
it's
sorry to cut you
similar.
off. It's not because like granted Roman had both Universal in the heavyweight titles. He wasn't when
And
he didn't also
not control, but creative ideas. He inputted who he wanted to like fight.
yes, that part is true. But my only counter to that creative part is that there is a TMZ video of her saying she literally says I have creative control. It's only the last like month and a half to where people like Ross Sapp and a couple other people are like, no, it's not creative control. It's creative input. Like it's literally only been a month and a half to where people are like trying to like semi retcon it to be like, oh, it's not creative control. Don't pay attention to the video that's literally on TMZ, which we know TMZ has no ties to anybody. It's literally just TMZ. Like they will have someone sit in a tree to like take a picture of Britney Spears on the fucking house. They have no ties to any affiliation. So if I have to choose between believing TMZ versus believing in Sean Rossap or whoever might be tied or like Meltzer or whoever might be tied to AEW, I'm going to believe TMZ in that aspect because I feel like they have no ties. They can't necessarily be paid off.
Wait, then that makes everything the journalists do is disingenuous. I wouldn't believe TMZ over the wrestling journalists. That's what their job. That's what they do.
I will absolutely believe TMZ over Sean Rossap because TMZ can't be paid off. TMZ can be paid off.
So you think Sean Rossap is paid off?
I'm not saying he's paid off, but I feel like there are some articles that have a bias per se. I'm not saying he's paid off. I'm not saying he's more AEW versus WWE or more WWE versus AEW, but I feel like based on what is promoted on their pages, what is posted on their pages, I feel like there is a bias per se. When it comes to TMZ, like they just want promotion. They don't care. They don't care.
A bias towards Mercedes or a bias towards AEW's content?
I feel like it's more of a bias towards AEW's content. but even then I might be wrong, and I'm fine with being wrong. I have no proof of them being biased or anything. It's just based off of what I've seen. It feels like they're trying to retcon stuff because there's literal video of Mercedes saying, "I have creative control." There was like in like, well, I don't know, maybe episode 40 of Monday Night Wave, we talked about like when she was hired and like she had a personal writer for her, Peppermint. Like we talked about like, and then even in a recent Deonna Purrazzo interview, she like stated like, yeah, like it's not creative control per se, but you know, she has a lot more input or a lot more pull. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
what
know,
you want.
obviously, I'm not. This is not me shading or anything. Like, we don't know the full truth. We do not know the full truth. But all I'm saying is like the way I see it and the way I feel is, I'm not saying she's a full Hogan or a full whatever the fuck. I'm not saying like, oh, she chooses every single spot, every how she wins or who she wins against, blah blah blah. If it's literally just input, I'm not going to contest that. But based off the evidence that we've seen through this year, she's unbeaten. Everything she wants, she gets. It's leaning more towards one side than the other side. Whether it's true or not, I cannot say that, and I will not say what is true or not. But it's just based off the evidence that we've seen over a year and a couple months, because she showed up last March. She showed up in March of 2024. Based off of a year and a couple months, it seems like it's more leaning towards whatever she technically prefers. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea.
I would believe that if she was signed to each of these companies that she has belts for. I feel like this is hard to like. It's hard to be like she has creative control over CMLL, over Rev Pro, over New Japan. Like that's way too many heads to like.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying,
To
and
have.
I'm not arguing she has creative control over those other companies, but you have creative control over your company. I mean, over your own personal. Like if Mercedes Monet is a company. It's a self company. Like it's her own promotion. So it's like, I'm not saying you're like, oh, she can control it. Like she can control herself. So again,
Right.
it's self
What you
input.
just described is creative input. She has creative input on herself, which is what she has.
Right. So if the other companies want to follow that creative input, that is up to them. That's on
Correct.
them. Exactly. Right. So that's on them. So that's like, I'm not trying to malign her at all or anything like that. But if people want to follow, like if the companies be like, all right, well, that's Mercedes. This is this is the female Roman. Like, she's the top free agent of all of history or whatever. They're going to obviously play to those. That benefit.
Because
Like
what
they're
she
gonna.
does for them is just as much as they do for her.
I mean, that part is arguable. That's the part I kind of like really want to question on, like, not on this episode and like not on any episode in general. But that's kind of the thing I want to question, because it's like, again, like the one match that she lost the title to in that triple threat, we saw that she lost the title to the triple threat. It was like, it was a big thing for like 2 hours, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, but you're not
Like
watching New Japan.
But at the same time, if you're such a big draw, then that's like, there's a reason why they're putting multiple titles on you, because you are supposed to be this big ass draw. You're supposed to be a reason. You're supposed to be the like
Right.
you have the Red Pro title. You're supposed to be the reason why I watch Red Pro. But I don't
And
even
people
have a.
do.
I don't have an out. I don't even know the outlet. I don't even know how to watch Red Pro.
Exactly. But I'm saying, like, if you wanted to, you could. I have a Rev Pro account. You could Google up how to look up Rev Pro and watch the match that she had with XYZ, because Rev Pro is not an AEW thing. Like, they're not on TV. They're not on American TV. Like,
Right, but okay, then that's when we get into the weeds of like, oh, if you just want to see it, then just look it up. But also at the same time, if you're a wrestler part of one company, even though you might have attachments to other companies, you want to promote those other, like, you want to promote ways to see it. You want to promote reasons to see it. Like I never, like for example, like I never seen a single wrestler from whatever. I don't want to use Rev Pro, but let's just use. I never seen a Rev Pro wrestler be like, "Oh, bitch, you have our title. You're doing like." I never seen a Rev Pro wrestler do what like what's the homie from fucking New Japan that you like? The white dude.
Gabe Kidd.
I never seen a rep like I never seen someone do like some Gabe Kidd shit where like, bitch, you have our title. You like our stuff so much. Promoters, blah, blah, you know, like I never seen anyone do that. So like, as an American fan, because again, like let's just bring it down to just basic American shit because obviously we know Americans aren't looking at shit like that.
No,
You know, I mean a lot are, but a lot aren't because ooh, look at America now. But like you don't see anyone be like on some gay kid shit, be like, hey, bitch, you have my title. If you want our title so much, look at our like check out this website, check out this blah blah blah. Like there's literally 4 titles that Mercedes holds. I don't even know where the promotions are from. And maybe that's just me, and I will easily take that argument. But I feel like at the same time, if you have an agreement similar to like how AEW and CMLL has an agreement, or AAA and WWE has an agreement, or WWE and TNA has an agreement, at some point you'd be like, all right, you have to promote our titles on TV so you can at least build a bigger audience. And I feel like that
has she
I
not?
feel like they don't. Dog, she has 7 titles and multiple of them I have no idea where they're from. So no, I don't feel like they are. The match with her Amina, which was good, it was for the TBS.
Right.
She had a match with a random Japanese star 2 months ago that was for a Japanese title, but that was it. And
But
guess what? That
the
Japanese
week
star
before that,
didn't
she had the
win.
match in Mexico for the CMLL title. Like, so these promotions, she's having these matches for these titles, and they are
But
being
are they-
advertised by her.
But are they being advertised by AEW? Are they being
Then why would
advertised
they
by?
be? If you don't have a partnership with AEW, why would they be? We know CML does. That's like a contractual partnership, I would assume. But I don't know about Rev Pro, and we know that New Japan does.
The reason why it's a problem because it goes back to the old Vince hates all other wrestling promotions and all this other stuff. If you're if I have a if you have a wrestler that's in contract that has all these other titles and you're the owner of all these other titles, you want your title to be promoted. Like there's a reason why you're putting it on Mercedes because you think it's going to you think it's going to bring business to you,
I
right?
think it does, though.
Right, but how does it if it's not on American television?
Well, it does by like the stadiums, not stadium, but their venues that they pack out. When she did the New York show, that shit went up.
Which New York?
When she went, she had the indie match before indie went to TNA. When she was at House, I think it was Hall. She did the House of Glory in New York. People were watching that. She did the CMLL one. People were watching that. The Rev Pro one, when she first got it from the girl, people were watching this. These are facts.
No, they're not, dude. No, bro. I've not seen anyone.
You haven't.
You're telling me you've seen someone, you personally seen someone say like, oh, this Mercedes is going to have a match in such and such company in such and such country. Everyone is turning to see it. Then why? Bro, if that was the look, I'm not calling you a liar or anything. I'm saying if that was the case, then you would promote that.
It has been promoted. That's what I'm saying.
It has
we
not.
We knew about the Hulk show before it even happened. It's not being promoted on AEW TV, but it's being promoted by her.
Then how are the AEW fans supposed to, bro? Not every AEW fan follows Mercedes on all her social media.
A Mercedes fan follows Mercedes on social media.
We're not talking about Mercedes fans we're not talking about just fans of Mercedes. Like we're talking about
what Mercedes does with these belts. You follow Mercedes. I'm not following AEW's account to know what Mercedes does in CMLL. I'm following Mercedes. That's the whole purpose of AEW. Is to give power to the wrestlers. Y'all go build y'all brands, and we'll follow you and see where y'all go. When Kenny goes to New Japan, it's not that like I'm looking for. Oh, well, what are they doing over there? Well, I'm gonna go follow Kenny Omega and figure out what he's got booked. What?
Dog, no, but look.
I don't. Time out. We gotta put a pin in it. We gotta put a pin in it. We're going too far. We're like almost like 240.
Oh shit!
Let's put a pin in it. We'll figure this out. All right, we're gonna wrap it up real quick. I had more on the docket, but we can get to it later. The main event for Dynamite 300 was Okada versus Kota Ibushi, which I felt like was a great fucking match. Okada is now 2 for 2 with not grifting me in matches, so I'll take it. I wasn't really too like aware of Kota Ibushi and like his work style and his flow, but he was fucking dope as well. All in all, though, Okada gets the win in this match here, which is expected because he's not losing until he fights Kenny, or at least you don't want to think that until he fights Kenny. Kenny also returns from being like dismembered in Portland, with the stretcher and the blood aspect. We finally see Kenny Omega come back here. A nice little golden lovers like reunion. We then see a nasty like German suplex powerbomb combo, which I've never seen before. I thought that shit was dope. And that's pretty much how the show ends. To end closing, I think next week we have a big fucking week. We will figure out what we're doing as far as like recording, because there's a lot going on. Saturday Night Main Event, there's Evolution, there's All In. So just stay tuned with that. We came back at the perfect time, people. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to catch you guys in the next one for sure. Hopefully, Mr. DT is with us. Hopefully. We'll see. I figure we got to text him and kind of figure out what he's on.
Bro, I'm about to go off.
We got to figure it out.
But you guys are going to get you guys are going to get at least 2 episodes to make up for the 3.5 week vacation of just us.
We got you guys covered for sure.
Yeah, we got you guys.
We'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been real. See y'all later. Peace out.
Too sweet. Believe in the wave.